And welcome back to Supptalk Radio. Another exciting day. I'm in fanboy mode today. My guest is an IFBB professional bodybuilder known for his symmetry, his posing, and let's be honest, his good looks. Fast forward now, he is the owner of Beauty Fit and the man behind the pit, a hardcore gym in Sunrise, Florida. Allow me to introduce Jimmy Mentis. Jimmy, welcome to the show.
What's up, Sean? How are you?
Jimmy, I know you're a former New Jersey boy down in Florida. I'm sure you're loving this time of year without the cold and the snow and the other bullshit that goes on.
Well, yes and no. I got to be honest with you. It's like I'll always be from Jersey. I'll always be that Jersey boy, right? So whenever I'm down here in the summertime, like, man, I want to go up north. And when I come up north for 2 days, I'm like, I want to get the hell out of there. so I'm so confused.
How long you been in Florida?
I've been down here. I'm in Fort Lauderdale. I'm in
Okay.
I'm in Sunrise, Plantation, Coral Springs, Parkland area, on the west side.
And how long you been down there?
I moved down here 1991.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, 1991. I just packed everything up, whatever I had, fit my car, drove down, and in 92 I won the Florida.
So I'm the crazy one. So again, as I mentioned, I'm a New Yorker, moved to Florida for 13 years, lived in Homestead, went to Florida State, got my degree, met my wife, and I missed New York. So instead I came back to Boston. I came to Boston, but I'm still young enough. I miss the snow, and I'm the oddball out of this mix.
Yeah, I like it. Now it's about 75, 80 degrees now here. I love it. You know, when I go to other states and it's cold, I don't know. There's something, I like that little bite, you know, the little cold weather. I don't like the freezing weather.
Yeah.
You know, I've become a princess with all this Florida weather now, but it's I don't do well in the hot weather.
Yeah.
I get drained.
I think that's what I missed the most was the foliage and at least like the crisp, like 50-degree days where you can get a sweater and still and the food up here. I mean, I miss all the bakeries and all the other stuff that I didn't get in Florida, like a good freaking bagel.
Yeah, I know. But down here, it's all commercial. All the chains. You don't see any really authentic restaurants. You know, you might have a couple, but it's an hour, 2 hour wait.
So, Jimmy, let's go back in the time machine a little bit. So, now, were you born in Greece or were you born in New Jersey?
I was born in Jersey, in Neptune, New Jersey, at the Jersey Shore Medical Center.
Okay, but both mom and dad are from Greece.
Both mom and dad are Greece, off the boat Greeks. Yep.
Interesting. Yeah. So growing up, were you an athlete? Were you a general average Joe or what?
No, I was from a little kid. I was always in sports. You know, Sean, I hated school.
Okay.
I hated the books. I didn't like the books. The only reason why I went to school is because I always made the school teams. Basketball, soccer were my really good sports. I wrestled a little, but it was towards basketball season.
Yep.
Well, 1 year my coach says you got to pick one. Same thing with football. Football and soccer was in the beginning of the year, and I had to pick one. But I was always in sports. Always. That's the only reason why I went to school.
So you're 6'1", or maybe not now, but 6'1" at your height?
Well, I think I was 6'1". Now that I'm 56, I might be back to 5'8" or something. But 6'1". I always say I'm 6'1".
So did you hit that weight that height at an early age, or were you kind of a late bloomer coming into that height?
I hit that height around 83, 84, right before I went into the Greek military.
Okay.
You know, that's a whole different story. We'll get there. But I was always that skinny guy who ate hamburgers and hot dogs and had abs. That soccer player look, you know.
Yep.
Always had that. Always. I can drink a gallon of milk, hot dogs, and hamburgers, and I was good to go.
And probably hated by many.
Yeah, but back then when you're a kid, nobody was really fat, you know. I mean, not compared to the obesity rate that we have now. I mean, we're always lean and always running, always playing outside, doing something.
So when did you get bit by the weightlifting bug?
Totally by accident.
Okay.
I didn't know I loved the muscles, but whenever I saw the muscles, I was always attracted to that look. Okay. So I don't know if I ever told this story ever, but it just came to me. I just remembered it. I was at a garage sale when I was a little kid, and in the garage sale, this guy was selling a T-shirt and it was York barbell.
Yep. Okay.
Okay. And it had the barbell, had York and the weights. And for some reason, I loved it and I got it. Okay.
Okay.
This is around 6th, 7th grade. Okay. 6th, 7th grade. And I loved it. I absolutely loved it. And I was wearing it every day, every day, every day. My mom was like, let me wash it. Let me wash it. And I said, well, I want to wear it tomorrow. So, being a Greek mom, she's taking care of her son,
Yep.
So I got into, because I was playing sports. I was playing the soccer. I was playing the basketball. There was a club in Wall Township called What's Your Racket? It was an
Okay.
indoor racquetball club, pools and this and that. And they had this little, maybe 20 by 20 gym with the chrome universal bench press.
Okay. Yep.
The plates. Yeah. So I would pay a membership to play racquetball, but I would sneak in and weight train.
Yep. Okay.
So I always loved it. I always loved, training. I always loved that stuff. So fast forward, the family ended up moving to Greece.
Okay.
Okay. And I was in the midst of playing some really good soccer, very good soccer. Okay. And I was playing for a for a professional team called AEK, AEK.
Okay.
They had their farm team, which is basically one level underneath. So they basically it's like a summer league, you want to call it, right? But
Yeah.
you're part of that team, and they can pick you up. You can play on that big team in a week. So I was always playing that, and now my time was ready. It was there, and we were playing a scrimmage, and I played center forward, and I got hacked by my own teammate.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, and I tore an ACL.
Oh, man.
So I ended up going to a gym, which is down the street from where I lived in Greece. It's probably one of the few. It was in the basement. I think it was not even 800 square feet, which I end up buying down the road. That's how I got into it, right?
Yeah. Okay.
And I just went to the gym to rehab my knee, and I never left, brother. I never left.
Before you tore your ACL? Was your aspirations? Now you said you didn't like school, but did you want to go play for college?
I was always gonna my end game, my end goal was be a professional athlete.
Okay.
Okay. Then in Greece, I ended up going to a Greek school, which was not that I only didn't like school. Now I'm going to Greek school, which I didn't even know the language. I understood it
Okay.
because of my parents, but now
Yep.
I'm just thrown into a Greek school, and that was a mess. That was just a mess
Jeez.
because my parents wanted to take me to American Community schools called ACS.
Yeah.
But we didn't have the funds then, we're just, but the second year, my dad surprised me and he took me, he goes, hey, you can go to ACS. And that was
Oh,
it.
nice.
Yeah. It was like,
Okay.
I walked in, I thought I was literally in the States, homeroom classes,
Yep.
freshman team, varsity teams, the whole shebang. And this is where I said, I'm going to end up here. I'm going to go to college. I'm going to play pro ball, whatever that is. But at that
Sure.
point, basketball started kicking in.
Okay.
Because the year that I went to ACS, I don't know if you remember. You remember Ronnie Cycli?
Oh, yeah.
I played with Ronnie.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. So Ronnie was a senior. I was a junior.
Okay.
So even though I was born 1965, I lost the whole year because my birthday is in December.
Oh, yep. I know
So
that. Yeah.
I lost the whole year. So I was playing soccer with the 65s. But I should have been playing with the 66s and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So he was playing varsity, I was playing junior. We were hanging out, we had some good times. But Ronnie was playing professional basketball in Greece.
Okay.
And then he got drafted. I mean, he got drafted by the Miami Heat.
Yeah.
Remember that? Right.
Oh, yeah.
So now it's my senior year. We went to Belgium. And we had this tournament, and that year I got scouted by Syracuse.
Oh, wow. Okay.
But I didn't make it because I got drafted in the military.
Oh, geez. Okay.
Yeah. So 1984, I got a letter. Well, supposedly I got a letter. Supposedly I got a letter, and I was supposed to go in August, and they caught me in October.
Okay.
So that was it. So then soccer was over, basketball was over. Let's do some bodybuilding.
But was there something going on that got you drafted, or was that just common in Greece that everyone gets drafted?
It wasn't in Greece. It was in Belgium. It was
Belgium. Okay.
It was a European tournament of all the American community schools. So
So I've been drafted to the military. I've been drafted to the military.
Oh no! Here's what happened. I'm telling you, my life is so.
That's why I love it.
You know, so I got drafted in the military because back then the Greek teams only allowed, because they knew I was going to go up the ranks. They knew I was going to play professional ball. They only allowed 2 foreign players on the team.
Interesting. Okay.
And as an American, I couldn't play. So I begged my father. I said, I want to go play. I want to go play. Then my dad wrote me in the books as a Greek.
Okay.
So now I'm an American citizen and a Greek citizen. So I screwed myself. You know, do you know I had to go to the American embassy when I got drafted in '84, and this is after I won the Teenage Greece. In 1884, I won the Teenage Mr. Greece.
Okay.
A month later, I went in, and I had to go to the American embassy to let them know that I was going in not under my will.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
I won't lose my American citizenship.
Okay. So how did that play out?
I got 2 passports. I got 2 countries. I represent 2 countries whenever I want.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So you go to the military. How long were you in the military for?
I was there 24 months.
Okay. So you come out.
So I come out bigger than ever because I trained every day.
You got 3 squares or more.
More. I made friends with the chefs. I'm walking out of there with bologna and fresh bread, and I was just eating. Yeah, it was really. I had a good time. I got to be honest.
But were you looking good, or were you kind of fluffy though?
I didn't care. Back then, fluffy was big.
Yeah. Okay.
You know? In my eyes, I was good. I was okay. You know.
Yeah.
So I got out in '86, and 2 months later, I won the Junior Mr. Greece.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. And that was it, man. Then I just said, I'm going to do this.
Now, what are mom and dad saying? Though, were they like supportive, or are they like, look, you're going to be a bodybuilder, you're going to try to make money off of this, or what are they saying?
Well, when I won the Junior Greece in '86, and I was out of the military, my dad going into the military, said, what do you want to do with your life? And I said, I want to buy this gym.
Okay.
So this was a month before I went in, okay, '84. Yep. So, and we bought the gym, and then I went in the military, and I was like, what's going to happen with the gym?
Yeah.
And my dad said, I'll take care of it.
Wow.
Meanwhile, in my eyes, my dad don't know the gym business, right? We had the first hamburger shop in Greece.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, we had the first hamburger shop. He was killing it, dude. We were killing it. So he's like, he goes, honey, business is business. Here's the thing. I know that now because I can run any business.
Yeah.
But back then you don't know. You only know because it was a chef. You only know food. You don't know how to run a business. Yeah. Right? All right. Well, let me tell you something.
So he's probably thinking that, okay, I'll just collect my monthly dues or whatever, pay the electric bills, open and close the doors, and that's that.
Not only that, he built me a second gym.
Wow.
By the time I got out in '86, we had another gym right across the street from the Olympic Stadium that the Olympics were held.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Right.
So now was your dad athletic though? Was he? I mean, it was just really new to him.
He just understood business.
Okay.
He just understood business. He just, it's P&Ls. But he's an off the boat Greek, so it's not like he went to school or anything. Those old school guys, man.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Well, they can't read a contract, okay, but they'll do the business.
To trust on a handshake, and most of the time it works out, but sometimes it doesn't.
That was it. My dad's one of those guys, and he passed it on to me. When people want to do deals with me, I said, paper is just an excuse for an argument. You shake my hand, you're going in deeper.
Yeah.
And I can tell you, most of my deals here with Beauty Fit for the last 15 years have been on handshakes.
And it shows your character, obviously, because
Yeah.
I mean, nowadays people say, "What are you, crazy? Where's the paper? Where's the signature?" Yeah. But if it's working for you, brother, good luck.
Yeah, no, I actually love the handshake better than the agreement, because anybody is an excuse for an argument. A handshake, how are you going to fight me on it?
Yeah,
and
true.
you're going to have to live with yourself.
So you come out, you've now got 2 gyms because dad's surprising the hell out of you.
Yep.
And now you're living life because now you got 2 gyms to work out in, obviously.
Right. And I said, hey, let's get to work. So, I had probably the second one. The first one was a very, very old school, obviously it's 84, but hardcore gym. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
The second one, we had women in there. It was more of a fitness bodybuilding type of thing. Okay.
Yeah.
And I had a business partner as well. His name was Tony. It was a great guy. These guys were just amazing. They supported me in anything I wanted to do. And then a few years later, 1989, I literally saw myself stuck.
Okay.
Stuck. I didn't know what I was going to do with my life. I literally saw myself. I'm sitting. There was a long window, big large window, and you would just see the road coming across, and I was just sit there every night, and I'm like, this is where I'll be for the rest of my life. And my business partner walked up to me and put his elbows on the window shield and just looking out, and I said, I gotta go, Tony. And he goes, where you gotta go? I said, I gotta go to the States.
Was it just to better yourself as a bodybuilder, or just life in general?
No, I just didn't think I was going to get anywhere in Greece, because I already had competed in the European Championships, the Balkan Championships, the Mediterranean Championship was done. But I also got the itch because Rich Gaspari came to Greece in 1986 for the Athens Grand Prix, and we connected. We had connected earlier before that.
Yep.
Okay, years before. And then when he came to Greece, he stayed with me for the show.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
That's the year Lee Labrada beat him.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Yeah, okay.
Nobody, you didn't want to be around Rich that day.
Oh, I can imagine. Plus, you can't have a better mentor. I mean, he's on the upside, top 3 Olympia every year, pretty much.
To this day, I tell him, and whenever I talk to him, that he's the one who put that killer mentality in me in the gym.
Yeah.
So when I came to the States, we started training together.
Wow. So were you cursing him, or you weren't probably used to that type of that intensity?
He beat me up every day, and I kept going back.
Yeah.
And I kept going back, so I had a great time. And then, I met a lot of guys in Jersey, John Kemper back then, and then Steve Weinberger. And then it was like, I'm home,
Yeah.
Then I was able to live that bodybuilding life.
Yep.
So, and I got a job. I was managing the Freehold Powerhouse, New Jersey. A buddy of mine owned it, Stu Rosenstein, with his father, may rest in peace, Sheehan. Great family, and Steve, his brother. So that was my home there, and I don't know, man, maybe a year and a half later, my parents were in Florida. They had moved back, and my little brother, 11-year difference, was down here all by himself with my parents. So I think it was Hurricane Andrew that brought me down to Florida.
Okay.
And I came down here. My parents had just opened a restaurant.
Were they in South Florida as well?
Yeah, they're in South Florida. Yeah. Okay. Well, now they're in Greece. They're back and forth.
But I mean, back then they moved to
Yes,
South Florida.
yes, that's
Okay.
what brought me down here.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Coming living with my brother was what brought me down here.
Got it.
So they opened the restaurant, and I was going to help out and stuff like that. And my dad said, what do you want to do? And I said, I want to compete. He goes, do it. And I gave it all I got, and I had a job at a GNC. I was working for someone who owned 10 GNCs back then.
Okay.
Loved it, but I really never worked for anybody, Sean. Never. I always had my own thing, or it was a family thing, or I had my own thing.
It's not a bad thing, brother.
I know, but it was a very, very uncomfortable because these guys were really good to me, who owned the GNCs. And then I got ready for the Florida, and then I quit. I won the Florida, and that was it. Then my whole thing just boomed, everything. Back then, the magazines were a lot. The magazines were, Muscle and Fitness. I got connected with Muscle and Fitness. I got connected with, Bob Kennedy. I got connected with Iron Man. I got connected with everybody. And before you know it, I was in the magazines.
Now, when I talked to Vinny Galante, obviously a good friend of ours, I remember him telling me that he was the one that was kind of sending out the letters, knocking on everybody's door, because he's like, look, I'm a small guy. They're not going to come to me. Did these people come to you, or were you kind of knocking on their door saying, hey, look at me, man, let's do something?
I still do that.
Yeah.
You have to. You have to. If you're confident of your product, whatever that is yourself or this or anything, you still have to kick down the doors.
Yep.
You still have to be aggressive. You still got to plant the seed. What happened with me is I was always in the mode of learning. I wanted to learn. I wanted to meet people. I just wanted to get out there. Okay. Yep. Like to this day, I don't say, well, I'm Jimmy Mentis. I might bust people's balls with that. I know it's like, hey, Google me, which very seldom I do it. But when I do it, I have to do it for a reason,
Yeah.
But if you stay humble and you start from, you keep going, you always have to go and keep the goal in your mind. And to this day, I kick down doors. I kicked down doors back then. For example, I never was a weeder boy. Okay. Never, yep. Even though I've been on the covers of Muscle and Fitness and I've graced, them in their magazines. Anytime Jim Chatta back then called me, I was on a plane an hour later, 2 hours later, flying to California.
Yeah.
It's not like, oh, I can't make it. I don't have enough time. I would literally grab a bag, my gym bag, and get on a plane and go to California, even if I didn't have a meal with me, because I wanted to take that opportunity. And
that's it. You don't know what it'll turn into.
No, but everything I did, sometimes, and it's funny because and I'm sure it happens to a lot of people, but it happened to me quite a few times. You got a good thing going and you're like, I don't need that. Let me just focus on here. I don't need that over there. Right. And I got caught up in that, well, I got enough gigs now. I'm good. I don't have time to talk right now. Right. And at one part of my career, I wasn't traveling.
Interesting. Okay.
I wasn't getting booked. When I turned pro in 1995, I hit the road. And everybody's like, well, why didn't you do the Olympias? Why didn't you do that? Because I never competed long enough to qualify for the Olympia. September, October, November, I'm in Europe touring.
Yeah.
Getting paid $7 to $10 grand for an appearance and sign autographs, workshops.
And respectively, you're still kind of a nobody at that point, right?
Yes. But here's the thing. It's the magazines.
Yeah, of course.
See, we obviously we didn't have the social media back then. So when they see me on a cover of a magazine, okay, it doesn't have to be the American magazine. When a cover came out here, that photographer, whoever took the pictures, already either sold them or gave them to somebody else and said, hey, this guy's on the cover. Would you like this series of pictures?
Yep.
So at one point, it was in 96 or 97, I was on 41 covers in 3 months.
That's crazy.
It's
That's
crazy.
crazy.
It's crazy. And when you get overseas, the only time they get to see you is when you literally show up in the flesh. So there's no
Is that
YouTube. There's no YouTube. There's nothing.
no? Is that a record, Jimmy? I mean, because I know Ahern's got mad numbers too, but
Yeah,
that's
no,
got to
I
be a
think
good number.
I think Ahern's way past me. Yeah,
But what you said 40-41 is nothing to sneeze at.
yeah. Let's put it this way: I've had over 100 covers.
Wow.
I've had
Okay.
over 100 covers. I'm still trying to find some, and some of them some of them through social media stuff like that. They send them
Yeah.
to me, people who have them. But the one thing that I would tell everybody is live in the moment.
Yeah.
Every cover I had, I looked at it and I threw it in the box. And I said, what's next? And I wish I didn't do that
Okay.
because I got old now, right?
Yeah.
So what did I enjoy? I didn't enjoy my wins. I put my wins as experience. Let's move on.
Yeah. Okay.
So when I started all this, I always wanted to go to the top, to Mr. Olympia, right?
Did you want to be Mr. Olympia or just be on the stage?
Oh, that's a good question. I never thought of that.
And that's okay. Because I know a lot of people that they just want to be on this stage to have it in their bucket list, and
Yeah.
others say, nope, I'm gonna fucking be Mr. Olympia no matter what happens.
I never put myself in that position, but I know how I am. I'm a realist. Like,
Yeah.
I'm very self-aware. I don't think I would ever win the Olympia, but I think if I would get on the Olympia stage, I think I would step down and reevaluate and say, okay, I might be able to win the Olympia.
Okay.
Right? It's the same thing with the Arnold Classic. Like back then, when I got the invite for the Arnold Classic, you get the invite, you don't apply.
Yeah. No, I know.
Right? So when I got the invite, I was in Greece.
Okay.
I was in Greece eating mama's food. Okay. And then my brother said, you got a fax. You know those old faxes with the rolls?
Right? I got a younger generation now going to Google that. Say, what the hell are they talking about? There's two old guys fax. But anyway, yeah.
So my brother says, you got a fax from Arnold. I'm like, fax from Arnold? I said, read it. And he goes, holy shit. You got invited to the Arnold Classic. I'm like, I'm eating my mom's moussaka and all that food, right? And I'm like, holy shit, now what? You can't say no.
But how far in advance did that come though?
That came 10 weeks out because it was the only Arnold. It was the only Arnold that was at the end of February.
Yeah.
Every year is in the first weekend of March.
Oh yeah, exactly. Last week of April, February, first week of March, depending on that Saturday.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm at least 40 pounds overweight. Right. And you just don't say no to an opportunity like that.
Yeah.
That's why nowadays when I see guys bypassing the Olympia, they're qualified, they bypass the Olympia or they bypass the Arnold. You don't do that. You don't know what's coming around tomorrow.
Yeah.
You have
But
to live
okay, so
that.
two sides of the coin though. So to say that though, it's like, do you go to the Arnold or go to the Olympia knowing that you might only be at 60% and kind of almost like get tore up in today's social media? Or again, do you pass and hope that you're going to go back the following year, be in shape, still be competing, whatever? It's like two edges of the coin though.
If you were outside of 7-Eleven and they told you the winning ticket's in there, but you got to go in butt naked.
When do you want me to put my clothes?
Or you can wait till tomorrow so I can bring you some clothes and take a chance that winning ticket is there.
It's a good analogy. I'm sure. So it sounds like someone else has kind of said the same thing I just said to you.
But see, the thing is, on my end, I can't speak for the guys who could win the Olympia or the guys who could win the Arnold, right?
Yeah.
To me, you just don't. To me, I just couldn't say no to the opportunity. I was so grateful.
Of course.
That I was among the 17 best in the world to compete at the Arnold Classic.
Now, Jimmy, how many years did you already have your pro card when you got this invite? 2-3 years?
5 years.
5 years. Okay.
5 years.
Okay.
Yep. And that's the year that I said, I'm going to retire. I retired
Interesting.
after the Arnold Classic.
I want to share something with you because there's a website called Muscle Memory. I don't know if you've ever heard of it. Okay. And
Mhm.
they've got your, aside from your grease, they don't have grease up here, but I want to show you.
Yeah.
Okay. If you can see this. So as a pro, it just has the Florida Pro Invitational in 96 and the Arnold Classic at 2000. Did you only compete twice as a pro?
2 shows.
Really?
Yep.
So it's the magazines though, because again, I felt like obviously you
Right.
were, around forever, top 10 for 10, 15 years.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. And I'll never forget it because Joe Weider, when after the 94 Nationals in Orlando, remember
Yep.
that lineup was fire. Okay.
Well, here, I'm gonna go ahead and rattle it off for a minute. You had DeMeo winning, Craig Titus, Don Long, Tony Freeman, Gerard Denti, yourself. I mean, all God, like who's who?
Right. It was we were lucky. Whoever was lucky to get in the top 10 was fire. So
Yeah.
after the 94 Nationals, I think I placed 9th. And I got to tell you, I was ready. When I
Okay.
say I was ready, I'm not delusional. I was ready. So I'm saying I'm going to be top 5. There's no way I won't be top 5. I was the heaviest. I was 251.
Okay.
But again, weight doesn't mean anything. For me to be 251 and ready, I create that illusion on stage because I have the small joints, right?
Yeah.
So after that, Joe called me. No, Ben called me. And he says, why aren't you a pro yet? And I'm like, I don't know.
You tell me.
Right. But I think the year before that, Milos had won back then the Yugoslavian championships, and he had turned pro.
Yep.
So Ben opened the door for me with Joe to go back to Greece,
Okay.
compete, right, win the title, and turn pro.
Interesting. Okay. Because I remember you telling the story on DJ's podcast. Okay.
Yeah, and that's what I did. I went back, I won, and I turned pro. But again, to me, it was a business. But I love posing. I love the posing. I love the entertainment part.
The lost
Okay?
art. It's a lost art.
Yeah, I just love it. I still do it. I'm in the pit all the time, and songs
Yep.
come on, and I'm just like freestyling, and they click. It just clicks. So I loved touring. It's crazy. I love living out of a bag
Yeah.
with
Okay.
a hot plate and food in Ziploc bags. To this day, I tell her, I say, why don't we just get an RV and just move, just go? We'll train at different gyms. She goes, honey, you're not 25 anymore.
Yeah, but still, if it's just the two you guys, pack up the RV and go, man.
Now she goes, I want a home. She goes, I want a home. I want to be somewhere. I'm like, okay, let's get the home. Let's get the RV. So yeah, I still have that. And I retired after the Arnold because, and I say because it was I'm still torn. I retired because I couldn't eat anymore.
Really? Okay.
I got tired of eating. I got ready for the Arnold with 10,000 calories.
Wow.
Yeah. It was. I couldn't eat anymore. I was tired of eating, which I do believe. Which I totally regret it. I do believe I retired way too soon.
Yeah. So you also brought up on DJ's podcast that you had a little bit of a little bit of anxiety. Was it anxiety of trying to win, anxiety of just being in your quote unquote underwear in front of hundreds of eyes? What was it?
Now, I had that anxiety of being perfect.
Okay.
Perfect. When I say perfect, perfect. And
Yeah.
up to backstage, I knew if I was perfect or not.
When everybody else started unsuiting.
Right.
Okay.
And next thing you know, I caught on a little too late. I started managing that water weight, towards the end of my career,
Yeah.
but but then I would take the Valiums, I would take the Xanaxes, I would take the hard diuretics, I would take Lasix. Lasix worked on me.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, Lasix worked on me because I would hold extra water, But it's funny because when I go guest pose or the next day I'm on a photo shoot, or when I was on a photo shoot, I look amazing.
Is that always how it is? Because you carb up, you get some fat, you have a slice of pizza, salt, everything just kind of fills you out.
So what I did was at the Arnold, I wasn't ready at the Arnold, so I wasn't going to lose the opportunity of not doing it. I mean, I competed at the Arnold at 280. Okay.
Wow, holy.
I had another 10, 15 pounds to lose. But the thing is, as I went in fuller, but I did exactly what I always wanted to do because I knew it was my last show and I needed to know. That night, I had pizzas, I had cheesecakes, I had this, I had that, and I woke up in the morning, I was veiny as hell. But all that water came out again.
Yeah.
So I smoothed out. My ass smoothed out. Everything smoothed out. But I knew for a fact that that's what I needed to do because every time going off the show, the next 2 days, I look phenomenal. So why am I doing that after? Do it before.
Jimmy, did you have anybody to? I mean, because back then coaches were really nobody knew. Everybody had coaches. Were you flying solo? Was Rich Caspari helping you? Anybody?
No, solo.
Interesting.
Yeah. Everything's trial and error. I wish I had a Chad Nichols or a Hani or a George Farah, or a Dave Palumbo. I wish I had. I mean, even now, I text Dave for tips. I'm like, hey, what do you think about this? What do you think about this? And we throw ideas around and stuff like that. You never stop learning. Never.
Yeah.
I still learn every day. I watch C-Bum. I watch Nick Walker. I also have a confession, which I like to, take the time on this podcast to do it. But, you learn from everybody. Everybody. Even it's not even about exercise. It's in between the sets. I watched Dorian train this one guy yesterday on his YouTube channel. It wasn't even the exercise. It was the shit they were saying in between the sets. Okay. If you pay attention to it, you're like, shit, that makes sense.
Yeah.
And like me, I'd be like, okay, let me try that tomorrow.
So you walk away at, according to this, 17th at the Arnold.
Yes.
Okay. Was it the placing that said that's it, I'm out, or was it real like you said?
No, I was going in. I was going in it. Plus, because I took the Lasix, they caught me on the diuretics. It was drug tested.
That year was okay. I always found that funny because it was that show, maybe another show, I think 2001 Olympia. They were testing for diuretics, but didn't test for anything else.
Yeah. I think there was too much noise going on, and I think they needed to test.
Okay.
So I do believe they got me, and they got Craig Titus.
Okay.
So I kind of said, hey, listen, I'm not going to win it anyway. So if I have to be the scapegoat, let's do it.
So did you completely hang up the trunks, or did you continue to post for a little bit, magazines, or was it like, that's it, I'm walking away from the industry?
So 2 days later, after the Arnold Classic, I'm on the cover of 4 magazines in Europe.
But those are probably photoed like 4 months earlier.
Nope. Monday, I had a photo shoot in Columbus, Ohio.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
You know how they convert the rooms into studios?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Guy had a suite in there. He used to work for a gentleman in Spain called Candy Moro. He was a photographer, and he used to put on the expo called Fitform, if you remember.
No, that one doesn't ring a bell. Okay.
And then great photographer, and I'm looking at these things, and again, they're not digital, right? So he's pulling out the Polaroids. He's doing one of these. He's like, "Here, take a look." I'm like, "Man, why didn't I look like that yesterday?" But it always happens.
Yeah.
So I got on a few covers, but I didn't walk into a gym for 2 years after that.
Wow. Just mentally fried?
I was eating one meal a day.
Okay.
One meal a day. My hip was starting to hurt a lot worse. I was bone to bone. I was bone to bone since 1998.
Got a replacement?
Yeah.
Okay.
I got a replacement in 2004, 3 or 4. I gained a lot of weight. I was over 300 pounds. You
At
know,
that point, so depression's kicking in because you're probably looking at yourself in the mirror.
depression's kicking in. I got to tell you, I didn't really care the way I looked. I was free.
Yeah. Okay.
I was free, but I had started a company back then called Bodywell,
Okay.
and we were doing the Arnold Classics, we were doing the Olympias and stuff. So the business thing kicked in me, right? So I had to focus on the business. So I really didn't care what I looked like, right? I was very secure who I was. I was always very secure who I was. The insecurity came into my life of being a perfectionist,
Mm-hmm.
right? So
Yep.
if I'm in a room by myself, I don't have to talk. Nobody knows that I suffer from that.
Yeah. Okay.
But you see it when I competed because it showed.
Mm-hmm.
You know, even to this day with BeautyFit. I mean, BeautyFit's been in business, 15 years. I've been blessed, so successful. The company's so successful, and I still think that I should run it out of my bedroom.
Because you want control of it. You want to probably
Yes.
see it and have your hands around it.
Yes. Yeah. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. But then I got some, you got good people around you, and until they look back at you like, dude, chill out, because that's what I need. I need someone that's not going to be intimidated by me to say, hey, chill out, because I have that strong personality that
Yep.
even though I'm a real softy. I mean, if people really know me, the people who do know me, like if I even like attempt to be like hard, like shut up, right? But I come off the look or whatever, like I'm a tough ass guy, this, that, but I'm really a softy. So the people who know me, but the people who don't know me, like I walk into a boardroom now, right? And me dressing up in a boardroom is clean sweats and a polo. Take it or not, and I even keep it here, my watch, my Rolex watch. Okay. That's it. I put the watch on, I put the polo on, I'm going to the board meeting, right? So
What do you weigh nowadays, though, Jimmy?
right now I'm 255.
Okay, so regardless of what you're wearing, you're still an intimidating dude.
See, I actually think I'm looking a little normal.
Well, yeah, coming from 280, 300, but
the funny part is I have all these old Jordan cutoffs. Okay.
okay.
For 9 years, I've had Jordans and clothes and stuff like that. So they're double XL, triple XL, stuff like that. So I found suitcases of all these Jordan cutoffs and t-shirts. And I'm like, I'm going to start wearing these. My wife goes, come on, baby. It's out. They're outdated. I'm like, Jordan's never outdated. Watch. So
Yeah.
I put the one cutoff on. I walk down the stairs and she starts laughing. I'm like, what are you laughing at? She goes, you can't go out with that. The cutoffs that I used to wear used to stop right here, right?
Okay.
The thin cutoffs stop here. so in my eyes, I still feel like I'm getting to the normal side.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
So now you mentioned your wife a few times. Does she put you in your place, or when you get a little kind of, I don't know, squirrely, does she just say, yeah, whatever, walk away? Or does she tell you to simmer the heck down?
No, she's really good.
Okay.
She's got me down to a T. She'll let me talk. Yes, honey. Yes, honey. Yes, honey. But when she takes that response back,
Yep.
I'm like, okay.
How long you been married?
We've been together about 6 years now, 7 years.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. So yeah, she's good. She's good. She knows my buttons. She knows, she wants to let me run. Good, go run. Go run. You're good. Go run.
Is she involved in the industry at all? Like, is she
No,
gym or total opposite?
no. She is now. I mean, she's been with me with BeautyFit, and she was my push for the pit.
Okay.
She was my push for the pit. She's like, do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. I'm like, and then I would wake up 5 o'clock in the morning, drive to Kansas City to pick up an old school Nautilus,
Yep.
5 o'clock in the morning, come back the same day, driving, no sleep, with a smile on my face.
Because you got a new toy in the back.
It's stupid, man. I can't everybody says I got a problem. Like, I do. I have a problem. I've collected I can say proudly I've collected the most unique pieces within a square footage that I have.
So let's talk about that for just a
Yeah,
second, because I know you open, from what I understand, you open the gym as kind of your own personal gym, but
yeah.
then it's kind of spiraled out to a membership gym. You have people coming in and out just like a regular facility.
No, no, yeah. I opened this so I can go train in it.
Yep.
And the backstory of this is I only knew this, that I'm going to open the pit and someday I'm going to compete again, but I want to train in it so I can compete.
Okay.
So I went out and I picked up all the pieces one by one that I used to train in on, that I knew. I'm like, I don't want to do that today.
Yeah.
Like any machine you look at, you're like, I'm doing that one, right?
Okay.
So in my head, I'm building the pit because someday I'm going to get back on stage. So that was, you want to call it motivation, you want to call it whatever you want to call it. That's what made me open the pit. So I don't want anybody in it. Nobody. It's
Okay.
3,000 square feet. I don't want anybody in it. And then a buddy of mine said, "Hey man, can I get a workout?" I'm like, "Yeah, go." And then he started posting it,
Oh,
you know.
jeez.
And then everybody's like, "Dude, where's that?" And he goes, "Oh, it's Jimbo's. It's this, that, this, that." And the next thing I'm getting texted, "Man, can I come? Can I come?" And then my wife Tammy, she turned around and she says, "You know, you can't be selfish here. There are a lot of people like you who need that place."
Yep.
And that's what I did. I opened it up. I don't have more than 20, 25 people. You
Okay.
know?
Okay. I thought it was like a
Uh,
full-fledged gym, but okay.
no. Let's put it this way: nobody wants anybody in there.
Oh, I get it. Because you want that hardcore. You want just, it's my
Yeah,
gym, leave me
yeah,
alone.
yeah. Even the guys that I have and the girls that are in there now, we're all family.
Yep.
Like that gym is ours. I mean,
Yep.
I pay out of my pocket all the time. Every month I pay out of my pocket. There's
Okay.
no, I mean, I lose money. For 3 years I've been losing money, but I'm not losing money. I'm gaining health.
Yeah. It's
You
your
know,
personal playground.
it's my medicine, man. It's my
Yeah.
medicine. I have other guys that come in and they're like, dude, you saved my life, man. With this gym saved my life. So, and there's a lot of other guys in here, 2, 3 guys that I know that come into the pit because that's their out.
Yeah.
And it doesn't
Okay.
matter. You don't have to be a bodybuilder. You come here, and that's what I wanted. I wanted people to come into the pit and exhale. It's like, okay, nobody's going to see me, and I don't want to see anybody.
Yep. I've seen you posting, so you've got some older equipment, because I see you trying to sell some of this stuff, but then I see something new and exciting like the pendulum, which first time I tried last month, and God, I love that machine.
The swing squat, you mean, right?
Yeah, I call it a pendulum, but
Yeah,
yeah, swing
yeah,
squat. Yeah.
yeah. That's the swing squat. Was Do you know a guy named Ron Norman?
No.
Ron Norman is a good friend of mine. He used to compete. He lives in New York.
Okay.
Randy had built it for him, custom.
Yep.
And then somehow Joe Corbett from House of Pain had it.
Okay.
Ron sold it to him. Then somehow, some way, I saw it. He had it. He was selling it, or somebody told me he sold it. So I texted Joe up and I said, "Hey, you selling that?" He goes, "Yeah." He goes, "I need this, this, and this. Can you find it for me?" He wanted to trade. I'm like, okay, how do I convince him just to take my money, right, and not lose it on trade?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I said, I'll buy it. So I bought it and I got it here. I'm still trying to figure out how am I going to fit it in there because
Okay.
the pit is packed. I'm
Yeah.
at
Yeah.
I'm at one of the old Beauty Fit offices, which I have another 2,500 square feet warehouse, which is filled with machines.
Yep.
Filled, but I spread them out so I can actually train in them as well. So, but I have to tell you, I'm really excited about this. Nebula, right? You're very
Okay.
familiar with Nebula.
Yep.
Tom Eilerman.
No.
Okay, Tom Eilerman was the creator of Nebula.
Okay.
Tom, for the past year, is back.
Okay.
Okay, so we've been talking for a very long time within the year, almost every other day, and I've been nudging him, man, you got to make this thing again. You got to make this leg press because his leg presses, the old school leg presses, are going for like 10, 12 grand.
Jeez. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So I have one in the pit. Okay, so make a long story short, Tom somehow says, all right, I'm interested. I really want to do this. If you think, and then he talked to some other friends and stuff like that, and obviously got the same feedback. So Tom got in bed with TKO.
Okay.
Okay. Great people over there. You got Brandon, you got some great people over there. They took him on. They took him on to engineer TKO equipment, but also to build the new, quote, Nebula 2.0 leg
Oh,
press.
wow.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So Monday, the number 2, there's 2 made right now. The one, I don't know where it's at. It might be sitting in Tom's living room with a rope around it, right? But number 2 is landing in the pit tomorrow.
Oh, wow.
No, yeah, tomorrow, Monday. So that leg press, the old ones are good, but this leg press, we had it in Orlando at the Fitness Expo at the best used gym equipment booth.
Okay.
This leg press, the platform adjusts.
Oh, okay. Yep.
It's just amazing. It's just amazing. And if anybody's around me, or around the pit, or wants to come and see the leg press, it will be in the pit tomorrow. I'm so excited about this.
You gonna be able to sleep tonight?
I just had another buddy text me. He goes, "Hey, if you're not sleeping tonight, can I come and hang out with you so we can see it tomorrow?" That's a very good question, because that's the only shit that gets me excited anymore.
Yeah. Oh my God, too. Have you ever trained at a Pollen gym? It's going back years, up in Edison, New Jersey.
No.
Okay.
But you know where I used to train when I was up there was at the Key Club.
Okay.
In Belmar.
Because that's where I go monthly, because I'm good friends with the owner there. So I go over to a Pollen. It's just like the pit a little bit. I mean, hardcore, chalk on the ground, chain stuff, new stuff. It sounds like you've just a very good feel, like good energy.
I love it. I see it all the time on social media. I think they're doing some great stuff. They put little little expos together, and some nice gatherings, some festivals and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'd love to go up there, and see and train in there.
Yeah, no, it's definitely I think that's the problem now too, is we're losing a lot of the hardcore gyms per se to more of the Planet Fitnesses and all these other ones. Not to knock anybody, but
I have to tell you, 2 years ago there were a lot less.
Yeah, no, I agree.
There are a lot less. Now you got guys, saying, "Hey, I'm going to build me a hardcore gym."
Yeah, let me slam the weights. Let me use the chalk and everything else.
Right.
Yeah,
I love it. It's like, I don't know. It's the way I am. I'll always be the same way. I don't change.
Jimmy, when you look at like equipment then and now, or just training in general, are people putting too much emphasis on, oh, you should bend yourself at 30 degrees, angle yourself at 28 degrees? Like, is there too much like stimulus now with some of these, I guess, exercises and the equipment and everything else? I mean, versus old school where, you know what I mean?
Let me speak on the equipment. And again, this is just my opinion. And
Yeah.
The old school equipment, they built the machines so you can overload the muscle. Okay. And regular people, welders, engineers built those machines.
Yeah.
Nowadays, attorneys build the machines.
Okay.
Okay. So back then, you had to learn how to use the machine. You had to train on it. You had to move a certain way. You had to control the weight yourself.
Yep.
Okay. Now, all you have to do is sit in it, and it actually counts your reps as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So people don't learn like that, because there's just one way of doing it. Plus, going to the exercises. I think people are getting way too scientific.
Yes, that's what I was looking for.
The only reason why I think they're getting scientific is because now it's something new, right? Something new to talk about.
Yeah.
If you came to me and you said, "Jimmy, here's $500, write me a program," I'd be like, "Take your $500 back, bench press, deadlift, squat, curls, and eat 1.5 grams of protein,
Yep.
on 1.5 grams of carbs. Call me in 8 weeks. You see,
Yeah.
I mean, no one's overloading. The muscle needs to be overloaded to be stimulated.
Yep.
Okay, so you're looking at angles, you're looking at this, you're looking at that. Just let the muscle work. The
Yeah.
muscle has to work.
Yep.
People are reading into it, and I think they're confusing everybody else. I see on IG, you have the one video, the two videos, right? The one has an X through it, and the other one has a check, right?
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, both of them are right. There's no wrong way of doing an exercise. There isn't.
Yeah.
I get the fundamental ones. When you squat, you don't keep your knees in and stuff like that. But on the tricep, keep your elbows out, keep your elbows in. Those are two different exercises.
Yeah.
There's no right way or wrong way.
Yeah, I think it just causes more confusion. Like people say, "Oh, sit at the chair 45 degrees to hit the brachialis more and do this." Just no. Or I think like my son, I have a 15-year-old son, he's working out now,
Right.
and he says, "Dad, I did 12 reps." And I said, "Great." I said, "Did you feel tired?" He said, "No, people tell me to do 12."
Yeah.
I said, "No, you just keep going. Don't put a number on it. Just keep going till you feel death."
Right. The way I explain it to a few that I talk to is go to 12 to 15 reps. Okay. If you're struggling to get 12, 15 reps, you're good. If you're doing 12, 15 reps and you're not struggling, put some more weight on.
Exactly.
It's all about experience. It's all about angles. It's all about, like take a dumbbell curl. Grab the dumbbells and curl it. Grab dumbbells again, second set, do it a different way.
Yeah.
Grab a third set, do it a different way. See which way you like. You might like 2 sets of this and like 1 set of that. One day do 4 sets of that, and the next day do 4 sets of the other one. It's about changing it up. You have to learn.
Yep. Exactly. Jimmy, let's talk a little bit about the industry in general. You've been doing this 30 plus years. Okay. At today's current climate, is it better? Have we regressed? I mean, obviously I can't say between you and I because it's a podcast. Do you think we're in the right direction? Because for me, this is my opinion, when Shawn and Rowan won, I'm like, we're bringing back aesthetics, we're bringing back grace, and now I feel like we're kind of losing that again.
Well, the thing is, I think the classic category that came in did good, but also did bad. Did bad. Okay. Also, the judges have whatever they have to work with.
Mm-hmm. So
if you got, X, Y, and Z showing up, you got to pick from X, Y, and Z.
Yeah. Okay.
So you can't just say, okay, you guys aren't what we're looking for. We're not picking anybody.
Yep.
So they have to pick a first, second place, or top 5, top 10. They have no choice. But I personally think that in the open class, everybody's 10 pounds overweight.
Okay.
Everybody's getting too comfortable with how much they weigh.
I know. I agree. Well, who cares what you wear in the off season? It's what you on game day.
No. The smaller you look with clothes on, the bigger you're going to look on stage.
Good analogy. Okay.
I remember I walked in an elevator at the Mandalay Bay, and Ronnie was in there, and Ronnie was wearing a t-shirt. I looked at Ronnie. I looked at my brother. I'm like, shit, Ronnie's going to get his ass kicked.
Yep.
Okay. It was the best year of Ronnie Coleman.
98, maybe?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, any guy that I saw get ready that looked small, dense, and their face is just death. Okay.
That's gone. That's gone as well. Dexter Jackson was the last one that had that
last
death face.
Last one. So now, right? Like, and I wanna confess, and I'm okay with putting my foot in my mouth with a few guys that are coming up the ranks now, and I'll tell you who they are and why. If these guys took 10 pounds off, worked another 10 pounds off,
Yep.
Not only would they look better, the quality of muscle come out more, right? But the physiques would be prettier.
Oh, agreed.
Okay, they're playing this big game, and the muscle, the density, the detail is not coming out. You see it while they do a video.
Yep.
But then they start doing the carbon up stuff. That means that you're not ready. You have more weight to come off.
Yeah.
You know. So I believe that the classic physique, no, not classic, the classic
The open
bodybuilding,
physique.
yeah,
Yep.
the classic. If they don't put a limit on it, it will end up being the open Mr. Olympia.
Okay.
Okay. You telling me that Chris Bumstead C-Bum can't compete at 250? I know he's holding back.
Oh, of course.
Right?
Yep.
So now you got the monsters, right? And now you got the classic guys. We're confusing ourselves.
Yeah.
And now Derek is going into the open. Wasn't he a 212?
Yeah, he was champion last year.
Right. I'm not talking bad about Derek. All I'm saying is now you got the choice. And Sean Clarita wanted to go into the open. Didn't they create the 212 because you guys didn't want to go up higher?
Yeah.
And these 212 guys weren't even competing.
Yeah, good point.
Right? They were like, listen, we're too small. I'm not saying they weren't good enough. They were just too small to play with the big boys.
Yeah.
Now all of a sudden you want to make a decision if you want to go play with the big boys or not.
Yeah, well, Clarita winning a main show this year didn't help the cause.
No, it didn't.
At 180 or 185, whatever he weighs.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I'm not mocking the guys.
Oh no, I'm not
just
either.
saying we're creating confusion by ourselves.
Yeah.
You know, you got Big Ramy. I mean, personally, I think he's going to win it. There's nobody's going to touch him.
That's the one person that's consistent. Now, one person that said he's going to lose.
Yeah, but don't forget, this is Chad's third year with him now.
Yeah.
Chad, you get 3 years with Chad, he's got you dialed in.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay? So, and you got Hottie, and you got so many good guys.
Yeah.
Okay, and then you got the Nick Walkers, then you got the Hunter Labradas, and all those guys. And I want to tell you, this is where I wanted to tell you. Everybody was asking me about Hunter, and you know, I have mad respect for his father. I don't know Hunter at all, but last year, and Ian Valera and all those guys, they were being praised as these guys are amazing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. And these guys were far from amazing to me. They were far from amazing. Did they have the capability and they have the genetics to move to do amazing things? Yes. But they were tooting their own horn. People were tooting their horn, and they were just getting way out of line. And here comes Nick Walker saying, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. And he's got no striations in his quads. No bicep tricep separation, no striations on his shoulders, none of that. Okay. Now, that was last year. As I'm seeing this year progress, I'm eating my words, because
you think he's going to place high?
Well, I don't know where they're going to place. I'm talking about what they're bringing.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. You're in the Mr. Olympia. At that point, you got to get on stage, see where you're going to place. Because Hunter last year placed where he placed because there's no one else there.
Okay.
Okay. This year, he's not only 50% better, he's 100% better.
Yep.
Okay. Just now. But again, what they do the last 3 days.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Because with Hunter, I think he had a pec tear in 20. So 21 is able to overcome it. So now he's 2 years post pec tear. So yeah, he's going to be a lot better.
Right. But you see him. You see the way he's training. You see the way he's paying attention to his body. At one point, I think I saw something. He was training legs every 9 days.
Okay.
See, he's starting to listen to his body.
Yep.
Okay. he was only training legs because he's got the long torso, right?
Yes.
So when he opens up, he's got this gap right here. Lowered his lats. So he paid attention to fix. He was a sculptor, right? He put the clay where he needed to put it, and he needs to put it in place and make it smooth it out.
Yeah.
Same thing with Nick. Nick is a phenomenal bodybuilder. I think they're going too fast and they expect things to happen too fast.
Yes. No, I agree.
And to bring up, the old school bodybuilding and the new school bodybuilding, and us old school guys, we're always going to be biased. Our generation,
the grizzled vets.
And I was when I was on the other podcast, they had comments like, Mentis keeps hating on the new school. I'm not. I love the kids. They DM me and stuff like that. We talk all the time. But if you really look at this, okay, we're in the 90s. We're the 90s guys, okay?
Yep.
You're in 2020. Shouldn't you guys be better than us?
Yeah.
You're not. Put the lineup of the Olympia in the 90s and put a lineup now. Of course.
Oh, I know. You the Flexes and the Kevlonis and Sean Rays, everybody.
All I'm saying is put a top 5 then and put a top 5 now. They should be better than the 90s because they have more knowledge. They have more resources, right? They have everything. But you know what they don't have? They don't have the grit.
Yeah.
We were passionate. We didn't care what people said.
Yeah, I agree.
The workouts, I bet you I could bring anybody in here and I would still beat their asses in intensity. I'm not talking about weight.
Yeah,
intensity. I mean, I won't be able to squat 405 or 500, but I'll dig deeper than any of these guys would because they've never gone there.
It's like you said, though, everybody is playing now the size game. Because I remember Sean Ray in an interview, one of the greatest. Let's agree he's one of the greatest.
Absolutely.
Said from the beginning of his pro career to the end, he was up 12 pounds. And he competed 10, 12 years, maybe more, give or take, as a pro. Where it's like, today, if you're not putting on 10 pounds in a year, you got an issue.
Yep. And the thing is, why are they only doing one show? The more you compete, the more quality muscle you're going to get.
Yeah. That's another thing of mine. In the 90s, you were always guaranteed a top pro at every show.
Yeah.
And then even and I don't want to be disrespectful, but even the second tiers, the Milo Sarchevs, the Charles Claremonts, those guys, they were an attraction.
All those guys. Remember Darren Charles at one point? He was winning all the second tier shows.
Oh God, it was ridiculous.
5 weekends in a row. I remember because Darren lives down the road.
Yeah,
5 weekends in a row. He was collecting 20 grand, 20 grand, 20 grand, 20 grand.
Hadi Rambod calls him Mr. 20, I think, or Mr. 10K or something.
I love the energy these guys bring. Today's guys, I love the energy. I love their angle. Okay.
Yep.
I don't want to take anything away from them, and I don't want to apologize, but it's just something that they just don't have, and I like to know, why don't they have it? Why don't they have that grit? Why don't they have that? Remember Chris Cormier? I'll never forget when Chris Cormier went to Temple Gym and he did legs with Dorian. He's in the back throwing up.
Oh yeah, know? No, he was out. Yeah, exactly.
In the pit, in the rules. The bottom, the 9th rule underneath is clean bucket after use. And I have a red bucket. No one's using it, but that bucket meant everything to everybody.
Yeah.
That was like your pillow. Okay, I'm doing legs. Where's my bucket? Now you're okay. You're feeling better. You can go.
Yeah. There's no more. God, why's the term? But there's no more battles anymore. The Kevin, the Jays and the Ronnies, the Dorians and the Kevins and the Flexes. I mean, I don't think they have that anymore. I think they've lost a lot of that edge too.
Do they have that camaraderie that we had? I don't know. I mean, I see, I see Nick training. He's at Flex Lewis's gym. He's training with some other guys. I see Brett training with Brett Wilkins, which actually he's one of my favorite athletes.
Yeah.
Brett Wilkins. He's training. They're all trying to train together. I love that.
Yeah.
But
But I don't know if it's a soundbite. I don't know if it's like a soundbite or a video for the Instagram, and it's like then they go their separate ways again.
Right.
So I don't know.
My question is, if we had social media, would we be as good as we were?
I don't know, because I mean, it's a blessing when you see like updates like instantaneously, but it's like Nick Walker's posting every day, and it's like, dude, you need to go dark for a while, just because now there's nothing for the imagination.
Right.
Where it was like we didn't back in our day. I mean, I had a board called Get Big. If somebody was at the show, they would hopefully upload it to the site.
Right.
Otherwise, I gotta wait 2 to 3 months to see how you placed and how Kevin won, because it's like there was no instant gratification.
Yeah.
So I don't know if social media is a blessing or a curse nowadays.
Right. Do you know that I still stress when I shoot a video for myself and I post it? I say to myself, why am I posting this? No one's going to want to see me.
Yeah.
But the response I get keeps me posting. Like, I don't get a lot of comments in front because maybe these guys don't want to show that they're commenting, but I get a lot of DMs.
Yeah.
Like my wife's like, who are you talking to? I'm like, another girlfriend. It's like it's a joke now. It's a joke, Every time I post something, somehow, some way, I get a new DM from someone saying, hey man, I appreciate you posting. Can you post a video of how you train leg curls or this and that?
Yeah.
And I say it every time to myself, I'm going to start doing this. But everybody else is doing it too. Like how many leg curl videos does someone need to see?
But is it the video, or it's the fact of it's the old school fanboys like me saying, "Oh, whatever happened to?
Yeah.
Oh, there he is. That's what's going on with him."
Yeah. And that's the feedback I'm getting.
Yeah.
Like, dude, we don't care about the exercise. We want to see what you did, how you did it. So, the Masters Olympia is coming up.
I want to bring that. Do you have a time constraint or no? Because I feel like we can go on for hours. Okay. I was going to ask you about that.
Yeah. Oh, you are going to ask me about that.
I was going to, no. I ask you what your thoughts are on, because like there's two sides of the coin. Like Milos thinks, and I have a lot of respect for Milos. He's another favorite bodybuilder from the 90s. He doesn't think it's good because people are going to go ahead from the PED standpoint. They're going to push themselves, which is unhealthy. But then you've got people that are in that class like Vinny and Rusty Jeffers and a bunch of others that are still competing.
Right.
That could do well.
Right. Let me tell you right now, no one's going to push it.
Okay.
No one's going to push it. No one is that stupid at this age to push it.
Okay.
It just won't happen.
Yeah.
But everybody's doing HRT.
Yeah, well, of course.
Right. Bump it up a little. Get on your growth. Don't eat shit. Get in the gym. At this point, Sean, let's say I did it. Okay.
Yeah.
Because in my head, I can do it. It's a switch for me.
Yep.
It's a switch. You go back into the hole and go, right? So I wouldn't go crazy. I'm doing HRT right now.
Yep.
What's the difference? The quality muscle that I have. Okay. Yeah. Is there going to be loose skin? Sure, there's going to be loose skin.
Yeah.
Right. But the quality muscle that I have, the guys that I know that competed with me or over 45, they don't need to be crazy. Just need to be in shape.
Yeah.
Look at Rusty. He looks phenomenal.
I know. Rusty's an enigma. And then Darren Charles too. Darren Charles still looks like $1 million, at least what I've seen lately.
Look at Vinny.
Yeah, I know.
You see what I'm saying? It's no one is going to go. No one's going to go crazy. We know better.
Yeah.
We played Russian roulette. We made it.
Yep.
We're not going down that road again.
See, but then you got two, and the two schools of thought is you've got people like me
Yeah.
They would love to see whoever back on stage and say, okay, look, he looks great for 55, 55, whatever the age is, whoever it
Right.
is. Then you got the other people that are like, oh God, he should have stayed off the stage because he doesn't look like he did in the 90s. It's like Jackass, that was 20 years ago, 30 years ago.
Right.
So
Well,
it's like you can't
no,
win.
yeah, it's a great point. Masters category right now is the bread and butter of the NPC and the IFBB.
Yes.
Come on.
Yeah.
It's bringing in income.
Yep.
Okay. Because there's cash there. There's residual income. There's money there. But
yeah,
to see, I mean, I reposted the Masters with Dexter on the thing.
I saw that.
Right?
Yep.
Man, I got so many DMs like, dude, we'd love to see you back on stage. We love this, that, you're doing it. A couple of my friends say, hey, in Greece, they're like, hey, we're getting tickets, we're coming. I'm like, whoa, wait. See, I think it's a matter of just seeing them back on stage.
Yes.
Yeah. Like Tony Pearson, I heard might do it.
Yeah. See, because the last one they did in 2012, I think the cutoff was 45. And I loved seeing some of the older guys. Like there was a guy, Father Roland Gerlach. I don't know if that name is ringing a bell.
Yeah.
That guy was shredded. He was like Andreas Munger shred.
No, he was from Germany, right?
Yes. And then there was Andreas Kelling, who does the swimsuits. He did that. It was just nice to see some of these names back. But then again, the cutoff was 45, or I think now it's 50. Not that it's a big difference.
No, it's 45, I think. It's 45.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Either way, I'm in.
Yeah, okay. All right.
So, I think it's good.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was planned for them to, I don't know if they really looked at it to have it in Romania. I think in Romania might have a lot more Europeans in it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, how many Americans are going to go from, are actually going to compete in it?
Yeah.
I think there are going to be more Europeans competing, even if it was in the States. I mean, look at this Masters, right? Who do you think? Give me 5 names that you think is going to go.
Well, again, Rusty. I know Vinny's crossing his fingers he's going to get that invite.
So you got 2 USA.
Tony Pearson.
3 USA.
Possibly Darum.
4 USA.
You? Because I don't know if I'm hearing you saying you're doing it or not.
We'll know in March.
Okay. No, you're right. But but again, I'm an American, so I know more of the Americans. I probably wouldn't know half the people internationally.
International, there's probably, out of these 5, there's probably another 10, 15.
Okay.
So where, business-wise, it makes sense, even though I don't like it, it makes sense for them to have it over there. Plus, I think it's what's her name? She's from there. Jake too.
I don't know.
They do the Romanian Pro.
Oh, okay. I know you're talking about it, so I'm on blank too.
Yeah. So, and they're just going to have an extension of the pro show.
Yeah. Okay.
But it makes sense. So I don't know. I don't know what to make of it. It's still fresh for me. I think it's a good opportunity if somebody wants to compete to get back on it. I don't know. The way I see it.
And again, just good guys like Vinny. And again, I know we're stroking Vinny's ego here, but he is a good guy. Just so he can finally put that bucket list of I was on an Olympia stage, even though it might not be the real, not that the real, but you know what I mean.
Right.
He's on an Olympia stage.
Right. And the only reason why I would do it is because I left too early and I knew I had one more in me. Now, I don't know if that's good enough.
Okay.
So, I'm going to take one day at a time because I'm training anyway. I'm training every day. I'm eating good. I'm going to take my time till March.
Yep.
And then in March, I'm going to make a decision.
Jimmy, you wake up now in the morning. How do you feel? Hips good, but how do you feel just in general?
I'm good, man. Yeah. I got my lower back.
Okay.
It's very tight. and I lost my ass. And I think that's why it's funny. I know. I'm just being honest.
I don't think people are expecting it if you do it to show at 55 to have striated glutes. But anyway.
Well, the thing is, my glutes have gotten weak. You know,
Okay.
my
Okay.
glutes have gotten weak. So every time I train legs, I train my glutes too.
Yep.
And it just pulls on my lower back because the top of my
Okay.
glutes are always
Yeah.
sore. And I get that lacrosse ball and I rub it up.
Oh yeah.
against the
Yep.
wall. Feels amazing. But for some reason, it's always tight. Always.
Okay.
And if I get past that, because whenever it hits me, I'm in bed for 2 weeks. Literally in bed. 2 weeks.
Oh wow. Okay.
You know,
Okay.
so everything else is fine. You know, if my legs have been responding the last month and a half, 2 months, been responding. You know, I'm
Good.
getting blood in there, I'm getting a pump, you know, everything's fine.
Yeah.
I want to be healthy, you know, my lower back. And then and if I do it, there's not going to be a huge change in my day that I do now. You know,
Yep.
I miss that grind.
Yeah. So Jimmy, as we wind down, I got to put you on the spot. If you don't put it in order, give me the 6 people you're going to see in the Olympia here. Aside from Rami, who's going to be in that extra 5 spots, 2 through 6.
I got Hottie second.
I think Hottie's the gatekeeper. He's going to be the gatekeeper on this whole thing.
I got Hottie second. Well, obviously my top 5, top 6 changed from DJ's podcast.
Yeah, so go ahead. Give me now, and I'm sure in 2 weeks it'll change.
Yeah. I know. We should come back for that. I got Hottie second. I got Brandon third. I got Samson fourth.
He's a dark horse. He's the one.
I got Samson third or fourth.
Okay.
I love this guy.
Yeah.
Love him.
Milos is another one that kind of gets that underlook a little bit with his coaching skills and his mad scientist.
Yeah, he's. I got him third or fourth. I got Derek up there too. I got to be honest with you.
He's another one. Yeah.
I got Derek up there, and then I think everybody else. You got Hunter, Nick, Ian. I'm sure forgetting. I mean, there's like how many? 36.
Well, I think 36 were qualified, and I think the number's like 27 as of this morning. I was listening to Chris Cormier's podcast, and I think they said 27 could potentially be on stage.
Now, if you were a ticket buyer, you paid front row seats, $500, $1,000, whatever that number is, but it's a high number, right?
Okay.
Would you actually sit to see 26 posing routines?
No, because I hear the horror stories of the nationals, and obviously the Olympia is a different setting, but it's a nightmare.
Right. I personally think they should shut it down at every category 15.
Yeah, but let's just say people are doing their very first Olympia, and parents are coming in, grandparents and everything. Do you just shortchange them and see them in the prejudging? That's it. I know. It's a tough one.
Because I'd rather pay $1,000 to see 15 guys than $500 and see 26 guys. Because I know I'm not sitting for 26 guys or girls.
Yeah.
How many? I think there's over 50 wellness.
That's probably underestimating too. Yeah.
After the 5th one, they're all looking the same.
Yep.
At that level, I'm not taking anything away from the athletes. Don't get me wrong, right? But now
of course, I'm not either.
Yeah, but now you're looking at entertainment purposes. Now, if there's one guy or one girl that you got out of first 10 that came out, 3 of them are going in the top 5, right? And the other 2 in the top 5 are coming out 45th, 46th. Now you got to wait for them to come out. You see what I'm saying? You're gone. You got to the bathroom. You got to eat. You're like, shit, I'm done. I'm bored. Now you paid for the money. You paid for the tickets, and now you're not happy.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
So, Jimmy, so we can revisit this next year or hopefully 2 years. We're still friends here. We're still talking. Pick 2 people now that is the future of the federation. Who's going to be the next Olympia? Who's going to do some damage in the next 2 years? Give me 1 or 2 guys. Because people keep saying Robbie, he's done this year, if not the next year.
Oh, I'm going to go with Samson.
Okay.
I know he's I think he's got it. But but I'm not going to take it away from the confident, cocky, you want to call it. I know he's not cocky, but I'm going to call it cocky. Nick Walker.
Yeah. What about Andrew Jacked? What do you think of Andrew Jacked? If he fills out his frame.
If he fills out his frame.
Yeah.
Listen,
okay.
he went too big very fast.
Yep.
Okay. So he's not going to continue with these gains like that. You can't.
Yeah, and he's already mid-30s, I think. I think a lot of it's new muscle. I don't think he started lifting until later in life.
Yeah, you're right. But
yeah, 37 is an old age, but he's still young. Like Tony Freeman was the same thing. Tony Freeman had the young body, older age, but younger body.
Right. I love him too. I think he's great, but to me he's missing something. I don't know. Either his inner thighs. They said that he was better in at the Arnold when he won towards Dallas. I don't think so. I don't know. There's something. See, I'm also a complete guy, right? So he doesn't have calves. He doesn't have the hamstrings. You know.
Okay.
Samson, if he can pull it together in the next 2 years, I think he can. Now, I'm going to go, if I had money and I'm going to play the wild horse, okay, at 20-1, I would put it on Nick Walker. You know why? Because this fucking guy is so driven.
Yes, give him that.
You can't bet against him. He's like the Rich Gaspari from back then. Like if you knew Rich, if you knew Rich, you'd be like, damn, man, what's wrong with you? And he wouldn't give up.
Yeah.
And I feel Nick is the same way. You know?
See, but everybody keeps, like, a lot of the pros now, which is weird, are putting Nick in like 10th place because his freaky physique is going to be against him versus the more symmetricals.
Right, but here's the thing: who else is coming in? If you see Nick, the leaner he's getting, the he's less blocky. I do see that he's losing size in his legs, or it might be the angle of the camera, but he's losing that size. So, you know, if he loses that weight and he loses a little size, that might actually work with, you know, not against him, with him.
Yeah. He posted a picture today. His face was looking gaunt, but I don't know how old if it was really a current picture or an older picture.
Right. You know, like I said, if I had to bet on a dark horse, it would be a Nick Walker. But my pick, if I had my way, if I wanted to see who would win the next Mr. Olympia, I'm not talking about Brandon can't win it. I'm not talking about anybody can't win. I'm talking about hold the torch, right?
Yeah.
Like a Ronnie Coleman, like a Phil Heath. Okay. Phil Heath. No one's going to be like Phil Heath. Nobody. And I bet you if Phil came back next year, he'll still win.
Okay.
So, but a Samson, he's got it all.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? He might need a little work, but he's got it all.
Yeah. No, I agree. Give him another year or two to mature with Milos, or if he gets on somebody else with a Cito or Chad Nichols, it could be game over.
Right.
Yeah. So, but Jimmy, it's been an absolute pleasure, my man. I don't know if there's anything else that you want to kind of let the people know, or.
I mean, I just want to do a shout out to everybody. It's just like keep the DMs coming and keep me going. I just this
old man, hate DMs though. You're gonna get hate ones saying what you're picking Samson next year.
This old man will take anything he can get. You know, I really appreciate everybody. You know, they message me, they comment, and you know, the pit, and anybody wants to come down to the pit and just train for the day, you know, you'd be my guest. But I really appreciate you, you know, inviting me to this podcast. I really do.
Jimmy, plug social medias or your brands, all that stuff before you end here.
Beauty Fit. You know, I also own Myolabs, but Myolabs was kind of in the back end because I was so focused on Beauty Fit. But starting January, Myolabs has been around for 15 years as well, because I've had Beauty Fit, and everybody's like, well, do you have anything for the guys? So I built a brand, you know, to basically ride Beauty Fit's shoestrings. So I never put it out for distribution. It just followed behind Beauty Fit. But starting January, I'm going to be a little louder with that.
Nice.
It's a great brand. Yeah, it's a great brand. You know, I'm at Jimmy Mentis 1 on IG. Jimmy Mentis on Facebook. I just it, man. You know, just have
And
fun.
Jimmy, last question. What's the address of the gym in case people want to
It's
contact you, whatever?
4747 North Nob Hill Road, Unit 1, Sunrise, Florida, 33351.
Jimmy, and somebody here in the comments, I don't know if you see comments to the side
No,
here.
it's not.
Thomas Eilerman is saying, I'm here listening. I don't know if that
That's
name rings a
Tom.
bell.
That's Nebula, Tom.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's Tom. I can't see the comments. Should I be seeing them? No.
No, it's okay, because some people just kind of nicely just chime in on stuff.
Yeah. No, Tom Eilerman is the creator of the Nebula that actually doing the deal with TKO that built the Nebula leg press 2.0 that I'm getting tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
awesome.
Yeah, he's a great guy. Dude, this guy can build machines. You know.
Well, Jimmy, again, it's truly been a pleasure, my friend. Stay on for a minute here. But for all of us watching and listening to this, thank you so much. If you have a chance to leave a like, a comment, anything whatsoever to help us in the ratings, I appreciate your time. And as always, have a great rest of the week.
Much love.